I look at what's happened to the trucking industry over the last 20, 30 years of my working life, and it's deplorable. And now I find that most of the people that are in the trucking industry are this independent contractor. So I wanted to explore this a little bit with you. How did you get into this? How did you get in working to the company you're in this classification?
Well, actually, I came into it. It was already established when I got into it, but it's just something that dragged the drivers down. I say we work in an industry that we're not a part of. We support an industry that we're not a part of. We don't have a future in it. We break down. I mean, we get sick. We have a serious breakdown. We can pretty much be out of business because we work from week to week. You know, we count our check. We hoping we have a good week to take care of just simple business. You know, just to be able to survive. And that's wrong. And I've been in it myself for 23 years, and it's gotten worse because everything now is put on to the driver.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, I'm curious. I'm curious how you got into this, because you go to apply for a job. How is it that you end up? How did you get into this? Is I guess the question that I'm asking first.
Well, it's.
Or was it just you didn't have a choice? Or was it just this was all that you could find and this was it? Because as I understand, this whole thing is you end up leasing your truck, right?
Yes, I lease to a company, yes.
And you work for that company that you lease from, and you have to follow the rules of that company, correct?
Well, yeah, they have it laid out. They have what they call a lease agreement, and they have everything laid out as to what you get paid, and it's not meeting our, just in order for us to make us a decent living. It's more or less looking out for the company.
Yeah.
But yes, we come into a program that's already established, and I don't know when or how it got established, but it didn't have the driver in mind.
Yeah, well, it's got shifting the responsibility of the costs and all the risk and all the responsibility onto the driver and away from the company. I mean, if you can get it, it's a good gig, right?
Yes.
If you're the company, it's a great gig. Somebody else takes all the responsibilities. I get to make all the profit. That's a great gig. But for the workers, it's a screw job.
Yes, it is. It's a stressful job for the worker, because it's just so much that you're responsible for, and you're not getting compensated for it.
So let me ask you the question that I get from because I've talked to a number of drivers over the last couple of years, out in Los Angeles first, and now here in Georgia, and the question I get often is if you're in this situation, you're now this quote unquote independent contractor, you're your own boss. Of course, you've got all of the headaches and very little of the rewards. Why would you stay? Is this the only job that's available? Because this is the question I get often. Now, I'm of the mindset, just before you answer, you never walk away from a bad situation. You make a bad situation better. That's my view. But I'm curious what your what your thought is.
Well, I stay in it because I love to drive. I just want to get a fair wage for what I do.
Right.
Just like anybody else have a job that they do. Sure, you can get into something else, but you like to do what you're happy at. That's where you're most productive at, and it's what you're happy in doing. But our situation is that we just don't get compensated for the responsibility that we have, because everything, if something go wrong, any write-ups or whatever, we're responsible for them boxes, once we hook them to our trucks. And we just don't get compensated for that.
So walk me through it. So as an independent contractor, as your own boss, because they love that. They love throwing that out. You're going to be your own boss, John. And along with being your own boss is you have to pay for your own insurance, right?
Yes.
You have to pay for the insurance on their trailer, right?
Yes. Well, not on their trailer, on your truck. You have a collision and all on your truck, and you have to have insurance, bobtail insurance. But when you hook up to a box, they got something they call cargo insurance, which we don't have. We don't have to have cargo insurance, but once we hook up to their box, we covered under their cargo insurance.
Okay.
But it's just the responsibility that come along with the hauling of these trailers.
Right.
Like DOT stop us. They find something wrong with the trailers. They want to put it against us. Damage done to these trailers. These companies, they turn it over to the driver, which we don't do. We're responsible for trying to keep our truck up, and sometimes we charge for stuff that's wrong with their equipment, which is wrong.
So, in essence, what you're saying is you've got all the costs. You've got to keep up the tractor that you've got. You've got to keep up all of this stuff, all the paperwork, everything that goes with it. And for all of that headache, all of that trouble, if I can ask, what on a yearly basis do you bring home to take care of your family?
You bring home. You don't bring home half of what you make, because by the time you take out all the deductions for what you have to do in order to stay in business, you don't bring home half of what you make. It's just sometimes you might bring home like in the low 20s. You know, it all depends on how your year goes.
Yeah,
but this is a up and go business.
You know, I see the ads all over the place. Yeah, first year, come out of truck driving school, make $45,000 a year. So we're told that, you know, hey, these lease op agreements, these are wonderful things. They're fantastic. Going to make huge money. Going to be my own boss, king of the open road, huge paychecks. But what I'm hearing from you, not so much.
No, it's not. Every year we end in the red every year. You know, I've been into it 23 years, and each year I'm starting out on the bottom of the totem pole, struggling, trying to maintain and just make a decent living, and it's just time for that to change. You know.
So what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing to change that?
Well, we're working with the Teamsters and trying to get some laws changed here in Georgia. You know, we got a bill that we're trying to get passed, which was introduced to the Georgia legislature on the 26th, and we're just trying to do it the legal way, because we don't spend a lot of time on the side of the road trying to get it done. And these companies promise us that they'll promise us something, but we don't have it locked in because we don't have it written down. So once everything go to flowing good, they take it back. You know, so we're not trying to go that route anymore. We're trying to do it the legal way and get some laws changed. And through the Teamsters, we have went a long way. We have never been to where we got it out to where the public can hear our cry. And this time, a lot of the people have heard our cry because of the Teamsters telling us the direction to go in and helping us with it, because we just didn't have that know-how before.
You know, I've gotten a number of responses from listeners who said, I didn't realize that the people in this industry are in the situations that they're in, that these sweatshop on wheels that are racing up and down the road, that, these folks, they're trying to make a living like anyone else, and they're put in a horrible situation. And I always take it back to the root cause, which in my view is all of this insane deregulation, all of the assaults on our labor laws and antiquated, outdated labor law that allows someone like you, who is clearly, in my view, an employee, to be exploited and manipulated in such a way that you're the one carrying the burden, you're the one carrying the cost, and the company's the one that's benefiting from it. Yes,
they is. They benefiting big time. They don't have any overhead now under this system. They don't have any overhead now. All the overhead have went to the driver now. So. Sure, they're making a good profit because they don't have any expense, and under these present conditions, there's nothing we can do about it. So that's why we're trying to get all this changed.
And that's why we're behind you guys 100%. And I think it's so important. I think it's vital to hear stories like yours, so that people understand that, you know what, we all truly are all in this together. Because if we let you, John Jackson, be exploited by this company, at some point, the company that I work for is going to go, hey, I like their business model. We're going to have Rick Smith work that way. Or we're going to have John Jones work that way, or whoever. And eventually it's all of us. It's all
That's
of us
right.
that are at the bottom of the barrel once the spiral ends up collapsing. And why I give folks like you the utmost credit for standing up, because, especially you guys who are classified independent contractors, because as I understand it, and this is where I think our labor law is so screwed up, as an independent contractor, you don't really have any rights, even in an at-will state, really, do you?
No, we can't even negotiate a price, that will really help us. We, give us a decent wage. We can't even. They want to get us for antitrust laws if we come together to try to even just get enough money to take care of the expenses that we have as a owner operator. So we don't have any right. We don't fall under it. If you go to different places, they say you don't fall under the labor laws. So it's just a mess. The way that system is set up.
And you guys are working outrageous numbers of hours, and when there is no work, as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, you can't take your truck that you're leasing that is supposed to be yours because you're your own man, you're your own business, you're an independent contractor. You can't take that truck and go work for somebody else.
No, you can't.
But I thought it was your truck.
Yeah, but it's not as easy as you think it is to really go somewhere else, because they are just the work. This work is seasonal work. So when one operation get work, all the other ones get work. So it's not as easy as people may make it sound to go somewhere else, because they all get to work at the same time. So when your truck company bills get work, the other company's getting work. So that's how they hide behind that, saying you can go to other companies to work, but really you can't, because there's no work to go to. So you stuck to a place, until stuff picks back up.
And in there is the answer of, I have people constantly go, well, why doesn't he just go work for another company or go somewhere else? Reality check, folks. They're all doing it. It's all virtually the entire industry has gone to this model. Most of the trucks you see riding up and down the roads, independent contractors who have been hog-tied into these lease agreements.
Yes.
So last question I've got for you on these agreements. Can you, at some point, opt out of this? Are you financially tied to them? That's a question I really don't know. Because there's part of me that thinks if you're tied to them for a period of time with huge financial consequences, that, I don't know how much difference that is to slavery then.
Well, you can always cancel your lease if you can always go to somewhere else to work. They can't. You tied to them, but see what make it so different is they can cancel you out anytime, but they kind of want you to give them a notice if you cancel out. They can come to you today if they don't like what you're doing and tell you your lease is canceled. You no longer need it. But when it's time for you want to decide you might want to leave, they want you to give them a notice. Or they'll give you a bad rep if you go to another company. They may put on there that you quit, or whatever the reason might be. It won't be a good report as far as you putting them down for a reference, or either they give you a bad report. But when it comes to them doing wanting to get rid of you, all they just say, we canceling your lease, and you out of there.
Wow. Here, I thought you were your own boss. You had your own truck. It's yours.
Yes.
Wow. What a
it's
scam.
Yours to a certain extent.
What a scam.
Yeah.
John Jackson, I appreciate you taking time for us. Thank you for sharing your story. I'm with you guys. Whatever we can do here at the Rick Smith Show to help, we are all in favor. We are all behind you, and I give you nothing but the utmost credit and all of your coworkers the utmost credit for standing up and saying enough is enough.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you too taking the time out to help us get our voice out and getting our word out as to what we have, the abuse that we are enduring. It's great help.
Solidarity, brother. One day longer. One day longer. Thank you, John Jackson.